Hello friends, today we will learn about estrogens and progestins part 2. So far, we have discussed differences between estrogen and progesterone, hypothalamo-pituitary axis and regulation of secretion, mechanism of action including receptors, classification of estrogen and related drugs, pharmacological actions of estrogen, its important pharmacokinetics, and therapeutic uses of estrogen. Now we will start from anti-estrogens. Clomiphene citrate is also known as fertility pill and it is pure estrogen antagonist in all human tissues. However, it is also having weak agonistic activity in other animal species like rats. It is used in women with anovulatory infertility. Clomiphene citrate binds to both estrogen receptor alpha and beta and blocks the negative feedback inhibition due to moderate level of estrogen and induces GnRH release from hypothalamus and increase in amount of secretion of FSH and LH at each secretory pulse of GnRH. Hence, there is stimulation of ovulation. For stimulating ovulation, clomiphene citrate is given in the dose of 50 mg once a day starting from the 5th day of the cycle and continued for the next 5 days. If conception doesn't occur in one cycle, then the dose of clomiphene can be increased for next 2-3 cycles, but it should not be tried for more than 6 cycles. Also, the addition of minotropins or embryonic gonadotropin on last 2 days of the course improves the success rate. The other uses of clomiphene citrate include in vitro fertilization with gonadotropins and oligozoospermia or male infertility, for which it is given in the dose of 25 mg daily for 24 days per month for up to 6 months. The common adverse effects of clomiphene are hot flushes due to inhibition of peripheral actions of estrogen, polycystic ovarian disease and risk of ovarian tumor, twins or even multiple pregnancy, and gastrointestinal upset, vertigo and allergic reactions. Selective estrogen receptor modulators. These are so called because they act as antagonist in some tissues while as agonist in other tissues. Tamoxifen is the competitive antagonist to estrogen in carcinoma breast cells and blood vessels, while it is partial agonist in bone, uterus, liver and pituitary. So like estrogen, it can improve the bone mass and lipid profile. So we can say that tamoxifen has beneficial effects in 3 B's: bone, blood and breast. Tamoxifen can be used for prophylaxis and treatment of carcinoma breast in both pre and post-menopausal women, in early cases as adjuvant to mastectomy, and in advanced cases as palliative therapy. It can also be given after surgery in males with gynecomastia. Tamoxifen is orally effective and has biphasic half-life of 10 hours and 7 days due to active metabolites. Though it is less toxic than anti-cancer drugs, it can cause hot flushes, vomiting, menstrual irregularities, bleeding, depression, dermatitis and blood dyscrasias. Tamoxifen can increase the risk of thromboembolism and endometrial carcinoma. Chlorimifen is the newer selective estrogen receptor modulator similar to tamoxifen, but it is weaker agonist. Raloxifene is estrogen antagonist in breast and endometrium, while partial agonist in bone and cardiovascular system. So the advantage of raloxifene is that it does not increase the risk of endometrial carcinoma because it is antagonist in endometrium. Raloxifene has its distinct DNA target called as raloxifene response element, and it is considered as second-line drug for prophylaxis and treatment of osteoporosis in post-menopausal women, the first line being bisphosphonates. The researches have shown that raloxifene prevents bone loss in postmenopausal women and bone mineral density may even increase, particularly in the lumbar vertebra. Ormiloxifene, also known as centromen, it is estrogen antagonist in breast and uterus. It is non-steroidal used as oral contraceptive, popular as Saheli. Ormiloxifene was developed at Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow, India. And ospemifene is the newer selective estrogen receptor modulator indicated for dyspareunia, means painful intercourse due to menopause. Selective estrogen receptor downregulator. The one and only drug is fulvestrant. It is used for treatment of metastatic estrogen receptor positive breast cancer not responding to tamoxifen. Fulvestrant inhibits estrogen receptor dimerization and prevents estrogen receptor interaction with DNA and increases receptor degradation. It is given in the dose of 250 mg intramuscularly monthly. Next group is aromatase inhibitors. The drugs are letrozole, anastrozole, and exemestane. Letrozole and anastrozole are non-steroidal and competitive inhibitors, while exemestane is steroidal and irreversible inhibitor. Aromatase enzyme is involved in conversion of androstenedione to estrone and testosterone to estradiol. So by inhibiting aromatase, this group of drugs inhibit synthesis of estrogen. Nowadays, aromatase inhibitors are first-line drugs for breast cancer as adjuvant after mastectomy, but only in estrogen receptor positive postmenopausal women. And usually they are recommended after 2 years of tamoxifen as sequential therapy. They are also effective in tamoxifen resistant cases. Let's see the differences between ACRM prototype tamoxifen and aromatase inhibitors prototype letrozole. So tamoxifen is estrogen antagonist in breast and blood vessels, while letrozole inhibits estrogen production in all tissues. Tamoxifen can be used in premenopausal women as well, but letrozole cannot be used in premenopausal women. Tamoxifen is less effective in delaying recurrence, while letrozole is more effective in delaying recurrence. The prophylactic use of tamoxifen is limited usually to 5 years, while letrozole can be used prophylactically beyond 5 years. Tamoxifen is not effective in failure cases, while letrozole is effective in tamoxifen failure cases also. Tamoxifen can increase the risk of endometrial carcinoma and venous thromboembolism. But in case of letrozole, there is no risk of endometrial carcinoma and venous thromboembolism. Tamoxifen does not increase risk of fractures, while letrozole predisposes to fractures. Tamoxifen can improve lipid profile, while there is no effect on lipid profile in case of letrozole. So these are the basic differences between these two groups of drugs. Coming to progestins, in their classification, progesterone derivatives like medroxyprogesterone acetate, megestrol acetate, dydrogesterone, etc. and 19 nortestosterone derivatives, which are further divided into esteranes and newer gonans. Esteranes include norethindrone, linestrenol, and allylestrenol, while gonans include levonorgestrel, desogestrel, norgestimate, and gestodin. Then antiprogestin like mifepristone and selective progesterone receptor modulator like ulipristal. Pharmacological actions of progesterone. Like estrogen, progesterone also causes growth and development of female reproductive system, but progesterone inhibits uterine contraction so as to maintain pregnancy, and it makes the cervical secretion thick, viscous and acidic, which is hostile for conception. In CNS, it has negative feedback inhibition on FSH and LH secretion. It is thermogenic, so it can increase the body temperature. It can cause mood changes and depressant effects, and it is sedative. Its metabolic effects include increase in basal insulin level and insulin response to glucose. It can worsen the lipid profile by decreasing HDL cholesterol and increasing LDL cholesterol. And in general, it is catabolic in nature. Note that the micronized natural progesterone and newer gonans do not counteract beneficial effect of estrogen. Therapeutic uses of progestins. The most common use of progestins is as contraceptive. We will see details of contraception in separate class. The second use is hormone replacement therapy. In non-hysterectomized post-menopausal women, progesterone is added for last 10 to 12 days each month with estrogen. The purpose of adding progesterone is to counteract the risk of endometrial carcinoma due to estrogen. The next use is dysfunctional uterine bleeding associated with anovulatory cycles. The large dose of medroxyprogesterone acetate 10 to 20 mg per day or norethindrone 5 to 10 mg per day are given. The other uses are endometriosis, endometrial carcinoma, premenstrual syndrome or tension, which is characterized by headache, backache, irritability, fluid retention, and breast tenderness. Progesterone is given in high dose combined with estrogen. If there is a depression, then fluoxetine is given. The last use is threatened abortion, but only if there is progesterone deficiency. In pharmacokinetics of progesterone, the natural progesterone are inactive orally because of high first pass metabolism, and the plasma half-life is only 5 to 7 minutes. But micronized formulations are orally active. The synthetic progesterones are active orally and metabolize slowly with half-life of about 8 to 24 hours. The adverse effects of progesterone include breast engorgement, or in long term there is risk of breast carcinoma, then headache, rise in body temperature, edema, acne, and mood changes. So it is contraindicated in depression, then irregular bleeding or amenorrhea, lower HDL cholesterol and risk of atherogenesis, mainly with 19-nor testosterone derivatives. Levonorgestrel may increase blood level of glucose. Then exogenous progesterone is contraindicated during pregnancy due to congenital abnormalities in fetus. Danazol is having weak androgenic, anabolic, progestational and glucocorticoid actions. It causes suppression of gonadotrophin secretion from pituitary in both males as well as females. So it can inhibit testicular or ovarian function. Its therapeutic uses are endometriosis, menorrhagia, fibroblastic breast disease and hereditary angioedema. While adverse effects include amenorrhea with high dose, androgenic side effects, impotence in males and hot flash in females and night sweats and muscle cramps. Antiprogestin mifepristone. It is 19 non-steroid compound having anti-progestational, anti-glucocorticoid as well as anti-androgenic actions. Mifepristone is mainly used for medical termination of pregnancy up to 7 weeks as 600 mg single oral dose followed 48 hours by misoprostol 400 microgram single oral dose or gemiprost 1 mg intravaginal pessary. The other uses of mifepristone are for cervical ripening, postcoital or as emergency contraceptive, for which mifepristone 600 mg single dose within 72 hours should be given, and in Cushing syndrome as it has glucocorticoid receptor blocking action. Ulipristal is selective progesterone receptor modulator approved for use in emergency contraception, for which it is given 30 mg single oral dose within 120 hours. It inhibits ovulation by suppressing LH surge. Onapristone is pure progesterone antagonist and gestinone is antiprogestin, more effective in endometriosis. So these are our today's key points. With this, we conclude the today's topic. Thanks for watching.